Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Live Show. It's a Monday night. That means that we did not get to do Last of Us last night, so we're doing it tonight. As always, the Nerd, you kind of hear the host show. Alongside my wonderful co-host, Brad. Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? We're on a wonderful, wonderful Monday night.
Monday night, feelings right to talk some Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 5.
I got beef. I got beef roll.
Why?
I'm reading Forbes, so because they got the recaps and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they got quotes in this. They got a cool quote here, from Jeremy Taylor about revenge. But then they got a Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
They don't finish the quote, and that irks me. Because if you're going to quote Tupac, you quote the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because
ideally, right?
Ideally. So this is what Forbes did. They only put half the quote. They
Yeah.
only put revenge is like the sweetest joy. You finish that fucking thing, Forbes. You don't put ... after that shit. You put revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. You fucking do that, Forbes. Don't play with that Tupac.
Yep. Hey, Tupac said more. I think Ellie would agree with that.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity, Forbes. I'm
yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah. How are you, Brad? I know I just asked you on the last episode, but how are you, Brad? Did you get to watch this last night?
Sunday. Yes,
last night.
Yeah, I watched it last night. Yeah, I forgot what day it was.
Brad, it's Monday.
I know.
Yeah.
I watched it Sunday. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Went to work today. Came home. Got my glasses today. And yeah, pretty decent. Just talked about the Great Mouse Detective, which I've been talking about for years. So we just reviewed that. That is off the list. And now I can technically quit. I did all Curacao. I did the Great Mouse Detective. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah.
We never do anything again. Sure,
that's it. You kind of wrapped full circle, huh?
Yeah, kind of just did everything I wanted to.
Yeah. So yeah, I went to work, Brad, and just when I worked, that was pretty much all I did today. And watched Great Mouse Detective. Watched this last night when I got home from my grandma's house, around 10 something.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it. I didn't fall asleep during that, but I did watch this episode. So I have my thoughts.
I think everybody's got thoughts, and surprisingly, I kind of agree with what some people on the internet are saying. And usually I try to stay away from that because of the trolls and stuff, but there are there's some things they're saying that I agree with.
Yeah. I think you should really start playing the games, Brad.
I think so. I think the game would...
I think you really should start playing the games.
Yeah.
So, maybe that should be one of your, because Brad, how many fucking times are you going to open up No Man's Sky? Start a fucking new game, man.
Okay.
Yeah. It's look, man.
Yeah, I like No Man's Sky.
I know, but goddamn, man. How many more fucking planets can you go to, dude?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, man. Just start a new game. Then Last of Us Part 1. I mean, it's available, Brad. You can play it. You have a PS5, Brad.
Yeah, no, it's sitting next to me right here.
Yeah, so you can do it. I don't know what's fucking stopping you from doing it.
Time.
You got time to play No Man's Sky.
I haven't played that in a month or two.
But when you do, you spend a couple hours on it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so those hours you could use once a month to play No Man's Sky. You could start Last of Us Part 1.
I just don't need another Spider-Man moment where I'm stuck on a wall.
Holy shit, man. You're not going to stream it. Okay? So what the fuck is the problem? Who else is going to see you struggling to move from a wall? Fucking Brenda?
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. Speaking of Brenda, she's back from her trip, right?
Yes, she came back, thankfully. So.
All right, awesome. Well, I don't want to beat around the bush anymore, and I want us to get into this already because I'm pretty sure we have a lot to discuss here. So
let's talk about some shrooms.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched yesterday's episode of The Last of Us Season 2, you should probably get out of here if you care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the episode, go ahead and stay. Either way, how it goes, this is your one and only spoiler warning. Is in effect after these words from our sponsors in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Today's episode of the Nerdcore Live Show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Whether you want to see your favorite band, sports team, or comedian, SeatGeek has you covered. We're proud to be partnering with SeatGeek to offer you $10 off with code TheNerdCore. That's $10 off your first order at SeatGeek.com with code THENERDCORPS. So take a seat at your next live event with SeatGeek. Thank you. Now let's get back to today's video. All right, Brad. Season 2, Episode 5, titled Feel Her Love.
I got rolled so off the cuff right
Fuck. The WLF makes a dangerous discovery at a great cost. Later, Ellie must decide whether to continue with her plan and risk putting Dina in danger or give up on her quest for justice. Directed by Stephen Williams, written by Neil Druckmann. Written by Craig Mazin. Created for television by Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin. And based on the PlayStation Studios video game written by Neil Druckmann and Hallie Waghorn Gross. And, of course, episode stars Bella Ramsey, Isabella Merced, Young Madzino, Alana Ubach, Tati Gabrielle, Hetien Park, Matthew Yanagia, Maurice Dean Wint, Lane McNeil, Chunguk Park, and more. And of course, you have uncredited. You have what's it called, Pedro Pascal, and Gabriel Luna is credited, but Tommy doesn't show up in this episode.
He's somewhere doing things.
But why is he credited? He's not even in the episode.
Because he's mentioned, maybe. I don't.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. All right, let's see if we have any trivia here, Brad. By the way, I want to just bring up, like, you completely like take out the whole part of Shimmer getting blown to bits, but like y'all are pretty comfortable leaving that poor horse inside of a music store with no food, no water.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Young Manzino thought Jesse was more annoyed at Ellie and Dina's revenge quest than their growing romance, noting he was pissed off that they required saving. When Jesse arrives, cinematographer Senya Sarita uses a device from LensBaby to distort the lens and create a blurry, dazed effect to reflect Ellie's confusion, or in which she briefly believes Jesse is Joel.
That kind of worked. I kind of got the whole point of doing that.
Here's something I want to bring up here. Craig Mazin considers several alternatives to Pearl Jam's future days, but Neil Druckmann felt a short section was more effective, and they appreciated the lyrics' deeper meaning. Mazin wanted the scene to imply the re-emergence of Ellie's dark side and need to punish. When watching the scene with editor Timothy A. Good, they heard a low rumble, which Mazin assumed was Good's addition. It was actually from a different room where Emily Mendez was editing the season's 7th episode. They took the sound added to the episode, which Mazin considered serendipitous. When Nora realizes Ellie is immune, director Stephen Williams and Craig Mazin explained the scene. Immune. Mazin explained the scene to Tati Gabrielle as if Nora was a slightly doubtful Christian who was seeing Jesus Christ or the face of God. See if anything else. Yeah. Not much else.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is funny. A card on a desk in the abandoned warehouse reads Happy Mother's Day. This episode aired on Mother's Day. Sunday, May 11, 2025.
Hey, that was a little planning.
Yeah. All right, man.
We were going to use Fred Durst, but it became an issue of cost.
Yeah, it's just too expensive to use him.
It's just
too expensive.
It was just one of those days.
Yeah. So,
Somebody say meatloaf?
Brad, what are your initial thoughts on season 2, episode 5?
I okay. Let me start off with the good because it's real easy. I think if we again, let me bring up. I have never played the games, so that probably has something I have going for me is I've never played the games. So I'm probably not going to be, I'm not going to beat this up as much
There's no frame of reference for you. You're
no,
watching this as like the
as it
first
is.
thing, the first time ever. Like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I know nothing about the story. I'm watching it as it continues.
As yes. The sets, I think the sets are amazing and have been throughout this season. It's what's really blown me away about this season. When Ellie walks in, when she's chasing after Nora, and she walks into that basement that's been locked out, and just the mushrooms growing on the walls, and you have those
Our
two.
thumbnail. Yeah.
Yeah. That set is freaking fantastic. I think the warehouse scene, that set's fantastic. I think them in the park, I think them going through that's pretty great. So I think the set's really good. I'm still liking the dynamic between the characters. I haven't. I like the music. Music was well done through this. Sound design was well done. Us getting to see a little more of the scars and how they operate was really cool. So I appreciated that little moment there when the scars are chasing them. Or is it Seraphites? Seraphites.
Seraphites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought overall, pretty good. But my one main issue, and I think I'm coming to terms with this issue, and I kind of agree with a lot of people on the internet, is Ellie is is the way Ellie is being portrayed or the way she's been asked to act does not make sense to me. She is in this like for the past 2 episodes where we think she's on a revenge tour, which is what she should be. She should be, to me, far angrier. She should be far more serious, and she should be after killing these guys. And I'm not really feeling that from Ellie in this. She's far too bubbly, far too to me, if my father or father figure had been, killed in cold blood in front of me, I would be far fucking more angry. I would be a horror.
I mean, I think it was very apparent when they decided to have the reaction that Ellie had when she finds out that Dina's pregnant. It's like, because that's like she's more pissed off in the game.
Yeah, I've seen in the game where, I think what she called her a burden or something at that point.
Yeah.
She was going to get in the way or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because she was like, hey, is this going to, what's it called, mess with my mission? And it's like, like she's so consumed by this quest for revenge and vengeance that it's just completely changing who she is. And in return, it's, affecting her friend group. And I don't know if we have really seen that happen yet.
No.
With Dina or Jesse.
I don't think we have. I mean, I think Bella Ramsey has been playing this character to me like too bubbly. Like too like we saw her reaction like the I'm gonna be a dad, and to me it's just like the character should be more serious. Even though I haven't played the game, it's like it should still make sense that this character should be far more serious in her plan of revenge. Like that should be the one thing on her mind as she goes through this. And from my understanding, we don't know where Tommy is.
So
But
Tommy
heard,
and Jesse, what's it called, left together, and they split.
And find them. Yeah.
Yeah, and they split.
And I'm not going to ruin the Tommy thing. I've heard tidbits from the game, but yeah. So I guess we'll see with Tommy, maybe eventually.
Yeah. So, man, it's just so. Look here. Let me go ahead and get the stuff I really like out of the way. Like Brad, I've been very impressed by the sets, the music, cinematography, lighting. I think it's all been fantastic. I think that approach has been great. They have really taken the world of The Last of Us and really have translated really well to screen visually. And, some of these effects have really fucking impressed me, man. Like the way that the stalkers look, the way that those cordyceps look, it's just as terrifying as it was when I played the game. And I'm really happy for that. So, you know, I thought that was a really, really good part of this episode and this season overall. They've been doing a really good job at bringing that over. I like our little hinting at something that is going to happen in season 2 that I am very ready for, and I am excited because the way that we've been handling, visually the things that have been happening this season, I can't wait to see how it's going to work in season 3. But we are kind of confirmed now that, like, hey, the cordyceps are spreading through the air now. They're airborne,
So they've mutated again.
Yeah, they're mutating, and this is advancing, and they talk about the hospital. They're like, hey, we send people up into these levels, and some of them came back, some of them died, but there are some that we couldn't go back for because it was becoming airborne, and they had to stay there. So, and those were, apparently they even brought it up, right, Brad? They said, like, those were some of the first patients that were infected.
Yeah, and I think one was, I guess, one of the leader's sons. I guess
Yes.
and I thought the visual of that, of these beings still being alive, but when they breathe out, you just see spores. I thought the visual of that was terrific to show you that shit's airborne.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. So
I want to bring this up because I did like the ending of this, where Nora is pleading for her life and she's trying to get to Ellie and explain to Ellie why they did it, why they killed Joel, like the whole reasoning, like what he did at the hospital, try to explain that to her. And then she just goes, I know. That was kind of out of left field. Like, anyone who hasn't played the game, like, I don't think we would have guessed that, because it was done very well of like, oh, Joe, it was shown previously, like when he's talking to the therapist and everything, that he hasn't told her, or that's what it was giving off, that he hadn't told her. And for that to be flipped at this moment, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. And it's the same way it was in the game, and they really brought in that, like, aggressiveness and kind of like a little bit of fear and anger that Ellie is feeling in that moment, because she's, she kind of explains it, like, the last time she's killed some people, it wasn't her intention to kill, it was more of a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
And this really is the first time where Ellie is killing somebody because she wants to, and because she needs to get information of where Abby is.
Yeah, she's making the choice to kill someone. It hasn't been out of fear, or hasn't been out of necessity, like you said, for her to survive. She is just beating now this woman with a pipe.
Yeah. So we're going on with Ellie and Dina, and then Dina, she's like planning out how they're gonna get to the hospital and whatnot, and triangulation and all that stuff, which I don't know, man. I was like, come on, man.
That scene wasn't the greatest, because it's just like, math is hard, bye.
Yeah, she's like he goes, oh, no offense, but you're not, like, school minded, and it's like, I don't know, man. I would say that Ellie is pretty smart. I wouldn't go outright and call her dumb. Like, Ellie's pretty smart.
To survive that long, I mean, she wouldn't have survived if she had not been immune, but I think she did pretty well for the circumstances. Especially
last season, like, how much she learned from Joel, and she was pretty smart. But nonetheless, I digress. So they go out, and holy crap. So, once again, the imagery here in this show has been fantastic, and I love the way that, like, they're not afraid to really go into the brutality of this game, because they see this mural. Fine, I'll just use Google Maps. So they see this mural of the prophet, of the Seraphites, and up against the wall is just a bunch of these
Seraphites dead.
Yeah, a bunch of dead Seraphites. And Dina fucking barfs. And, You kind of see a
I
little
mean,
bit
I
of
mean, how many
of
times is Dina gonna barf in these
she's
episodes? I'm
pregnant,
just,
Brad.
yeah, I get that, but come on,
It's like we get it, you're pregnant.
we get your
Um, Ellie kind of like starts to worry, and she's like, "Hey, like, what's it called? You can get out of here. Like, I don't want to be the reason that you die and whatnot." And kind of Dina finally like lets it out that, her parents were killed, and her sibling, and that like if this had happened to her, if she would have been there to see it happen,
she'd be dead too,
yeah,
probably.
yeah. She's like saying like, I'm not going. And goes, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna do this because, she cared about Joel too, but also it's like, hey, like, what's it called? I saw this happen too, and I need to go on this journey with you.
Yeah.
They kind of do this plan of like, hey, we're just gonna go ahead and stab these monsters. We're not gonna fucking shoot because the shooting's gonna
Get the sound.
sound. It's gonna alert the WLF and
Yeah, and then they just walk into basically a trap.
yeah, because they didn't expect that many stalkers to be there.
Yeah, I think they were all stalkers, weren't they?
Yeah, they were like 12 stalkers. They were like, okay, we're gonna have a couple clickers, mostly runners. Like it's not gonna be anything crazy. Yeah, it was all stalkers.
It was all stalkers for whatever reason.
Yeah, yeah,
Which I admit is terrifying. Like when
Yeah.
they were ripping up the when she was in the cage and they were ripping open the top of the cage, that was kind of terrifying.
yeah. What did you think about Jesse's return, Brad?
I again, I like the visual when they were showing Ellie first seeing him, and it did kind of remind you of like when Joel would show up.
When Joel showed up and helped what's it called, Abby.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah,
like just gives her the hand and it pulls her up and she's like, hey, come on, let's go.
Yeah, it kind of gives you that whole, so it kind of gets you in that mind frame. Oh, I thought Joel was dead. What the fuck? And then yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, it's one of those. It's like plot armor. Like he makes it just in time, but it is what it is. Otherwise, your main protagonist in this is dead. So, I liked it. I'm wondering what conversation Dina and him are gonna have. And I just find it kind of funny, anyways, that Ellie ended up going by herself, trying to find Abby anyway. That's how it ended up.
Yeah. So crap. I thought it was a good return. I like Menzino as Jesse. I think he does a great job. But yeah, to me, Brad, this is where the whole problem where it was like Dina and Ellie were the ones who left, and to be honest, to me the problem where it was like Dina was the one that was there with Ellie.
Yeah.
Because in the game, it's not Dina who watches Joel die. It's Tommy and Ellie who watch Joel die. And Tommy's the one who leaves. Ellie and Dina followed Tommy. Jesse follows then. And it's just like, I don't know.
Do you think that messes with the tone a bit?
I think it does. And there's moments that Tommy gets involved, which we might see in the next coming episodes. I don't know. Because you really don't know where Tommy's head is at right now. But we also haven't really concentrated much on Tommy. I feel like the creators of this show, more Mason than Druckmann, think that Dina and Ellie are the only people who are affected by this, in a way.
Whereas I've heard bits and pieces from the game. But Tommy, it would make sense Tommy's affected.
Yeah.
To the extent that we know.
We've had, 3 episodes where we haven't seen anything or heard anything about Tommy?
And really, the last episode where we see Tommy he doesn't seem angry or anything. I mean, he seems like depressed and confused and, missing his brother. But you don't really, and I think that's the thing with we get with Ellie, is there's like that moment of anger and then it's kind of lost as we keep going. It's like, okay, where is that anger and that frustration that we saw when they were killing Joel? Where is that?
Yeah.
Because, to me, I keep saying bubbly just because that's what it kind of comes off as, is like, I'm happy. I'm hanging out with my friend, going on a journey. It's like, no, it shouldn't be like that. It should be like some real serious fucking, shit. Like I'm going to kill a lot of people, and
Yeah,
I'm going to get my revenge on the person who killed my father figure. And I'm not getting that feeling in the past 2 episodes.
yeah. Um, I have to say also, I love the performance of Future Days. And I mean, that was really heartbreaking. You can tell how much Ellie misses Joel. That's how you get spin-offs. The Last of Us, Daryl Dixon. I mean, Tommy. Shut the fuck up. Um, God damn it, I hate that shit. Um, but yeah,
There's a
like
crossbow. There was a
in that
crossbow.
moment where she's singing like, "If I ever lose," I'm like, I was like, you can really tell how much Ellie misses Joel and how much it's been affecting her so much, but she's not really saying it. And I just wish moments like that would follow suit with more performances like what we see out of Ellie when she's with Nora. Whereas most of the performance this whole season since Joel's been killed has really been just like, oh, I'm Ellie and I'm still kind of acting childish. And it's like,
Yeah.
whereas in the game, it's Ellie has really fully completely changed and
Well,
it's changing the people around her too.
I would imagine in the game after Joel dies, that's when she really has to grow up. Like she has to
Yeah,
grow up quick. Like she doesn't have Joel there anymore to be her protector. Even though
which don't get me wrong.
she was pushing him away, but at the same time she knew she still had him.
Don't get me wrong. There is still banter. There's fun little banter between her and Dina. There's this little casual flirting too, and like like what's it called, passive aggressiveness too. But it is a different Ellie than from what we're seeing in the show, and it's just like I don't know if I would go as far to say that I don't think they're telling the same story as the game at this point, but I just think that the approach is very, far fetched, and I think that the approach has been a little too, different from what the game is trying to express. Ultimately, though, I do need to finish. We do need to wait until we finish the season. I think that there is still a lot that we're gonna get through. I mean, next episode 100% is probably gonna be a fully flashback episode. Episode 7, I have a feeling I know where we're gonna end, and I don't know if we've been if we've really not built, but if we've really been narratively rewarded to see that happen. So who knows? But we'll see how it's gonna work. I think it might end with the moment I'm thinking about it, but it might not. But I don't know. The more I watch this, and I texted it to you, Brad. The more I really agree with what Tony told me, where it was like, I think that season 1 should have ended with Joel dying.
Yeah.
Joel gets killed. You have all this time to wait to get to know Abby, so that way you get to season 2, and you see this happen, and you still don't have to do this stupid, like half of the season is Ellie's story, and the other half is going to be Abby's. Like, I think you get the chance to really get to know Abby in this season. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, to me, it's been good. Don't get me wrong. The season has been good. But I think these major setbacks is what's keeping it from being great. And how much I loved it last season. You can really tell how much liberties they've taken with this one, with this season. But I am going to comfortably give this episode an 8 out of 10. I'll go ahead and go as that. I think that's the lowest I've given the episodes this season. But Brad, what's your final thoughts, final verdict here?
Final thoughts on it. I agree with you. I think the season has been good. I don't think it's been as good as the first season. And and having not played the game, I don't think I feel that much of the dramatic difference that you feel. But I still feel like there's something off with Ellie in this, and that she's not as serious as I think she should be, just from a narrative perspective. And that's where it's kind of got you like failing a little bit. It's like, why isn't she angrier? Why isn't she like being tormented right now and being super serious in what she's trying to do. And I'm just not getting that feeling in these last 2 episodes, which I think hurts it in the long run. But I don't know. Maybe they catch the landing. But I don't think it's bad. I just think it's off.
Nah.
And I'm going to give the same as you because I think that's probably what it deserves, an 8 out of 10. And hopefully, since we're seeing at the end here what Ellie does, that maybe that more serious character is coming.
Who knows, man? But I don't know. I mean, I really feel like if this is where it's just, I don't know. Look, man, before this, Ellie already murks like 2 fucking people before Nora.
Mm-hmm.
And you're already starting to see that aggression build, and you really do see a shift happening. So when this moment happens in the game, it is like a complete shift in the character, and it moves her into a direction that really starts to like, be noticeable in her aggression. But before this, she shows signs of being this aggressive, angry person with the way that she reacts to Dina's pregnancy, with the 2 people she kills, and all these other stuff. And I don't know. I just think that we've been kind of like sacrificing some pretty pivotal moments in sacrifice for maybe some extra development to some characters who may not really need it. Yeah. But who knows, man? I'm not the one who makes this show, but with that being said, that concludes our review of The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5. As always, keep up to date with us at nerdcore.com, Twitter at nerdcore, Instagram at nerdcore, Letterboxd at nerdcore, TikTok at nerdcore, patreon.com/nerdcore, Discord link is in the description below. Leave a comment on the YouTube video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss another review that drops on the channel, and leave a like on the video. Leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app of choice, and follow us on that app, as all that helps us out so much. Thank you to our patrons. They make it possible. We love you guys. We'll be back for more Last of Us this Sunday. We have episode 6. It's going to mostly be I think it's going to be mostly a flashback episode.
I mean, that's what I was getting from the preview at the end.
Yeah. Mostly a flashback. Which I'm also like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, you kind of. It's kind of like episode 5 of Daredevil. You're just kind of killing the momentum for me.
Yeah. Like you couldn't do it the way the game does it. Is like have some of these flashbacks in the actual narrative. Who knows, Brad? Who fucking knows? But with that being said, Brad, that concludes our review of episode 5. Let's go ahead and get them out of here.
All right, Roll. Thank you to being host as always. Thank you, Stacey, for joining us in chat. Thank you to our listeners out there, Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, all I gotta ask is, where's Tommy? Where is Tommy? Young Yoda out.